Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Friday evening, September 22, 2023. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what the weather's been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the US National Hurricane Center's 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that Nigel is now out of the picture, and we now have newly formed Tropical Storm Ophelia, and it's actually packing winds of up to 70 miles per hour, so it's only 4 miles per hour short of becoming a hurricane as it moves towards the north-northwest to make landfall into North Carolina. If we also take a look, we can see that that area of possible tropical cyclone development across the main development region that was forecast to move more towards the west has now shifted to make a slight curve to miss the Caribbean. Remember in yesterday's video we mentioned that in earlier forecast it was forecasted to go north, then it was forecasted after that to go west, and now it's back to going north to miss the Caribbean entirely. So we know these things go, we have to keep watch. Who knows, maybe the day after tomorrow or tomorrow it might shift again to more of a westward track. It's just a waiting game at this point. Alright, so let us take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. We can see that we have a tropical wave right there about to hit portions of the eastern Caribbean, and we can also see the L associated with that area of low pressure across the main development region. While if we look to the north of the Caribbean, we can see Tropical Storm Ophelia. Taking a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see Tropical Storm Ophelia right there spinning away. Lots of cloud showers and thunderstorms making its way across sections of South Carolina, North Carolina, and even sections of Virginia at this time. We can also see lots of afternoon thunderstorms taking place across sections of the Bahamas, Florida, Cuba, Jamaica, and Hispaniola as we continue to be affected by a trough. We can also see some clouds coming into sections of Trinidad and Tobago and sections of the Windward Islands at this time associated with that tropical wave. We can also see that area of low pressure across the main development region right there. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let's focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today. It was stated that we would have had some amount of afternoon rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes. We know eastern parishes were referring to the parishes in the county of Surrey. Central parishes were referring to the parishes in the county of Middlesex. Western parishes were referring to the parishes in the county of Cornwall. And what ended up happening during the afternoon? A post was made on our Twitter page, not only our Twitter page, but our Facebook page, Instagram page, and even our TikTok pages, highlighting the visible satellite images at 2:41 p.m., showing clouds bring some amount of isolated thunder showers across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes. So definite sections of western Portland, not even western Portland only, even eastern Portland got in some amount of isolated thunderstorms as well. Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Mary, St. Anne, southern St. Anne that is, even sections of Trelawney, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, St. James, Westmoreland, and Trelawney got in on some amount of afternoon convection. And we even had some of our commenters confirming the rainfall. We had Rochelle Petit stating heavy rain falling Kingston 11 area, Lamone Rake stating that it's overcast in his area. Even on our Instagram page, we had a commenter, a little bit of Indian, stating rain in the Papine area. Glad I was able to get my son from school before it began. Safe travels to everyone caught up in the rain. And Moana stating cloud setting up in Old Harbor. Britton writes poetry stating rain at here in Mandeville for the past hour. Even on our TikTok page, we had a commenter confirming the rainfall. Tanya Campbell stating got some lovely showers in the Kingston 8 area, but now it's extremely hot. We even had on our Facebook page some commenters confirming the rainfall. Fabulous Grant stating rain and thunder here in Harbour View, and Nalichia Big stating light rain and thunder on my side of Clarendon. Skipping ahead to a couple hours later, another post was made at 4:25 p.m. highlighting the infrared satellite images showing clouds bringing some afternoon thunder showers across those very spots that were mentioned. So we can even see the high cold cloud tops better, not to mention the sparkling white dust that represents full amount of lightning flashes, if not lightning strikes. We're in the month of September, we're in our peak thunderstorm season, and we know how dangerous lightning can get. So we definitely had some deep thunderstorms, lots of lightning, especially across sections of some central and western parishes in Jamaica for this afternoon. If we take a look at the commenters confirming the rainfall, again, Jody, the lightning gets me every time. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images before the sun went down, we can see where we indeed had that flow coming in from the east. Then we had those high cold cloud tops being pushed out by the upper level wind shear off towards the northeast, just like what we mentioned in yesterday's video. So definitely we had on some amount of diurnal convection, some afternoon thunderstorms today, and we can even see it better on the infrared satellite images right now. These are the latest infrared satellite images, and we can see that those thunderstorm clouds are dying out at this time. Still have some yellows and greens in there, so definitely we can see some amount of light rain as indicated by the greens and the blues across sections of some central and the western parishes at this time. If we take a look at the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, we can see where we indeed had that rainfall across sections of the island for today. This map is not 100% accurate, but it does paint a picture for the fact that yes, we indeed had some amount of rainfall across the island for today. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can say we have 27 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston, and as the night progresses, the temperature should be getting lower to about 25 degrees Celsius. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we'll still see a lot of yellows, if not orange colors that represent 2 to 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures across Jamaica for 18th on Saturday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Saturday. And we know the average temperatures for the month of September is about 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about the equivalent of 32 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 32 to 35 degrees Celsius for Saturday. Taking a look at the dry air map, we can still see that we have a lot of moist air across the Jamaica area as indicated by the blues. The dry air is represented by the yellows, oranges, reds, white, and we do see that most of that dry air across the Caribbean is to the far south of Jamaica. Taking a look at the Saharan dust forecast, we do see that for 2 p.m. on Saturday, we have majority of the Saharan dust that's represented by the brown colors across the main development region and Africa. Jamaica will be in the clear for that time. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see that much of northern and western Jamaica should be getting those light blue colors that represent 0 to 0.5 of a meter wave height, while it's the southern side and the eastern side of the island that should be seeing those darker blues that represent up to 1 or even 1.5 meter wave height. And we see that on both the U and the GFS malls, and that's due to the fact that the winds are going to be coming in the strongest on the east and south side of the island, coming in more from the east southeast, averaging maybe 10 to 15 knots on the eastern and southern side of the island, a bit weaker on the northern and western side of the island. Taking a look at the upper level wind forecast, we can see that on the Euro for 1 p.m. on Saturday, 18D 1 p.m. on Saturday, we have more of a southerly, southwesterly kind of flow across Jamaica, while the GFS has more of a southwesterly kind of flow. Either way, whatever cumulonimbus clouds develop during the afternoon, we're definitely gonna have most of that being blown off towards the north for tomorrow. So remember what happened today with those high cold cloud tops being blown off towards the northeast. We might have something very similar to that, bringing more in the way of overcast skies across sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica. Taking a look at the rain forecast for tomorrow, we can see some similarities but yet some differences in terms of where the rainfall is going to be for tomorrow. Taking a look at these maps from the Euro and the GFS, we can see that the GFS is showing more of that rainfall across maybe sections of some eastern and some central parishes right here, maybe St. Thomas, Portland, St. Mary, Kingston, and St. Andrew. This is about 11 a.m. on Saturday. GFS is showing something similar, but it's also incorporating some amount of more central and western parishes in Jamaica. So we shall see exactly what unfolds. We know when it comes to these rainfall maps, we're looking for consensus. We're looking for what both maps are showing, what they're both agreeing on, and definitely some rainfall for eastern Jamaica in the morning, late morning hours, that is. However, we do see some contrasting differences in the rainfall for the afternoon. This is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Euro model, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time, and we don't see much in the way of rainfall. We do see some slight spots of blues on the southeast and the southwest, maybe even one spot of blue across sections of St. James, but that's the Euro for 3 p.m. on Saturday. Look at the GFS, something very different. We see some disagreement in what's going to happen for Saturday afternoon, the same time. Lots of blues that represent rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes. So we'll see exactly what unfolds. We know that when both models are disagreeing like this, the prediction is a bit all over the place. So it's just a waiting game at this point. We shall see which one of the models win. Hopefully it's the GFS to bring some well-needed rainfall to sections of eastern Jamaica. If we also take a look at the accumulated precipitation forecast, we can see that we don't have much in the way of rainfall across sections of some southern parishes on the Euro model, but as it relates to the totals, up to 0.66 of an inch of rainfall across sections of some eastern parishes, while the GFS is showing up to 0.64 of an inch of rainfall. We'll see exactly what unfolds with that in terms of the rainfall totals. So we're indeed grateful that we're going to be getting in on some amount of rainfall, considering that we're in the month of September, we're in our primary rainy season. We usually receive some of our most intense rainfall during this month across the entire island. Hopefully it does something for the drought that we're currently experiencing across the island. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let's focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have the clouds associated with Tropical Storm Ophelia affecting portions of the eastern United States. Clouds associated with a trough affecting portions of Florida, Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, not to mention a tropical wave that's about to affect sections of the Windward Islands. We can see the clouds associated with it right there. Definitely some thunderstorms later on tonight. We can also see some clouds affecting portions of Suriname, French Guyana, sections of Colombia, Panama as usual, Costa Rica, Honduras, sections of Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Mexico. Taking a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean for today, we can see where we indeed had some amount of scattered showers across the area. Look at that. We had some amount of rainfall across sections of Puerto Rico, and we can also see that we had some amount of rainfall across sections of the Leeward Islands, so sections of St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Guadeloupe, Anguilla, Antigua, and Barbuda. Even at recording hour, we still had some amount of hit or miss showers, but it's mostly some light to moderate showers as indicated by those greens. Not to mention St. Martin getting in on some of that rainfall as well. Taking a look at the Barbados radar, we don't see much happening across Tobago, but maybe sections of northeastern Trinidad got in on some amount of light rain. We do see majority of the rainfall to the east of Barbados at this time. Some of that rainfall going into sections of St. Lucia, and the majority of it seems to be going more towards the northwest at this time. Taking a look at the weather view of Doppler radar images, we can see that rainfall that affected portions of Florida for today, that rainfall that we just mentioned across sections of Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, Mexico, and the majority of the eastern Caribbean right there. If we take a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that much of the Caribbean should be getting anywhere from 1 to 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. But we do see that we have some slightly below average temperatures to be receiving across sections of Georgia, sections of South Carolina, Florida, and the Gulf of Mexico, not to mention sections of the Bahamas right there, as indicated by those blues that represent some below normal temperatures. As relates to the Saharan dust forecast, 2 p.m. on Saturday seems to be kind to the Caribbean. Nothing to report on, only some slight browns across the main development region that should be making its way into the Caribbean later next week. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see much of the same 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights across majority of the Caribbean as indicated by those blues, and that's due to the fact that the winds are going to be coming in from the east, averaging 10 to 15, maybe even 20 knots in some cases. Taking a look at the rain forecast for tomorrow, we can see where we indeed have some amount of rainfall to receive across majority of the greater Antilles, so sections of Florida, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica. Even sections of Puerto Rico might get some amount of rainfall. The Leeward and Windward Islands definitely, anywhere from Guadeloupe southward, Dominica. Sections of Martinique, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago. We can see some amount of rainfall represented by those yellows, greens. We can see it being represented on the key right here. So the more colorful it gets, the more rainfall that's expected. You can see definitely a lot of rainfall in store for sections of Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, sections of Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, and even sections of Mexico. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are showing something similar. They're in agreement in terms of the amount of rainfall and where the rainfall is going to be occurring. I don't know, when they show something similar like this, the chance of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.